spinning.
I'd be very happy if you donate now. What a fucking week. I'm not even sure where to begin. I think I'm going to start with Trump. If you're here for comedy tonight, not that I ever really reliably give you comedy. We've got Bobby here. He'll come on in a little bit and he'll make you laugh because his hemorrhoids came back. Hilarious. Anyways, oh God. Okay, so let me start with this. That I may be wrong about everything. I may be a fucking lunatic. I may be overly emotional. I may be using my phone too much. I may be using social media too much. That might all be true. However, what is happening now in the United States of America, of which I have 2 children, and I am Canadian, but I grew up loving that country, and I'm so worried about it and scared for it. And I think I've been triggered, as they say, by the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which is an abomination, in my opinion, an absolute abomination. And I'm not going to get into why or whatever, but I'm going to say that today I had a friend that I really like, who I knew was a MAGA guy, basically. He was intelligent, and I actually blocked him today on all of my social medias because I can't handle anymore. I can't handle these people. They are so not tethered to facts and reality. They are so fucking brainwashed and stupid and unfair that I literally can't be friends with the guy that I like. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. I'm always a guy who like wants to, engage with all kinds of people. I want to engage with people. I want to understand what their point of view is. The January 6th hearing happened. Cassidy Hutchinson, I think her name was, is someone that I think is incredibly brave. And now, basically, because this is probably what Trump wants, they're attacking her. No surprise. But I'm not worried about her safety, although maybe I should be. But they are just going to attack. I will tell you that this friend of mine, and I won't say who he was because that's not my point here. I'm not trying to shame any individual. I shame myself enough. I don't need to shame anybody else. He started going on this rant with me on Facebook Messenger because he was sending me pictures of vandalism done by the pro-choice people who are angry. He sent me a picture. I looked like a picture of a tweet where someone called Clarence Thomas the N-word. All of that is wrong. I don't care how angry we are, and you don't do stuff like that. That is not the way to do it. Then he started telling me that Cassidy is a liar, that she never told the truth. It's all a bunch of lies. It's this left-wing conspiracy. And you know what? I don't believe there is such a thing. As I spoke to another guy, and let's be honest, what these people, what they seem to be upset about is the Black Lives Matter riots after the beating and murder of George Floyd. And they think that nobody cares, that they're allowed to do what they want and burn cities and do this and that. That's one of my friend's arguments, And then I spoke to someone else who lives in D.C. He's very blogged, and he said it's all fucking bullshit. Of course, every movement has got bad players. Every movement. There's bad on the left and there's bad on the right. But these fucking Trumpers are so dishonest that they will never fucking say that Donald Trump is a scumbag, and we know he's a scumbag. Before he was ever president, he was a scumbag. He fucking shamed and put in jail and helped to put in jail the Central Park Five, who did 13 years in prison. They were kids because a girl was raped in Central Park, and Donald Trump took out a fucking full page saying they should get the death penalty. He steals from his own charities. I don't even want to go through the list because you know the list. And I'm saying, why can't they be fucking honest about it? Why can't they be honest about it? Say the man is a demonstrably horrible human being who lies every time he opens his fucking mouth. And this is the hill they want to die on, this piece of fucking shit. It's so infuriating. It's getting to the point where I'm losing my fucking mind. And I don't even live in the US anymore. And I have to look at myself and say, Jesus Christ, there's people telling me to put down my phone. And maybe they're right. But I go by my gut instinct. And my gut is telling me there's some really bad shit going to happen in the US. And guess what, Canada? It's going to come here. It's already started to come here. And I can't do much in the States, but I will do everything in my pathetic power to stop this from happening in Canada. These people are fucked. They are cultists. They do not care about facts. They do not care about the truth. They hate liberals, and that's all they do is they hate liberals, and they'll do anything to win, just like Donald Trump. And it's bad. It's very, very bad. And I'll be very honest with you. Nothing would make me happier than to find out that I'm a fucking lunatic, that I'm wrong about everything, and I'm a hysteric. That would make me fucking happy. But you know what? I don't think I am wrong about it. And I would rather be a Churchill than a fucking Chamberlain. And if you don't know what that means, you don't know fucking history and you're part of the problem. Because we have to be engaged in fucking politics and in history. Oh, fuck. Maybe you should mind your own business. Mind my own business. Cheese. I'm talking to Cheese Toasty. Like, dude, we're all connected. We're all fucking human. I'm not going to mind my own business. I've got kids that live in the United States of America. That's such a douchebag thing to say. It's such a stupid thing to say. And maybe that's the problem. People are fucking dumb. They stopped reading. They're watching the Kardashians. They're worried about Johnny Depp's fucking divorce or whatever the fuck that was, his trial. I am honestly, I don't even know if I'm okay, to be honest. Like, I'm not going to hurt myself. That's not what this is about. I'm just saying, I literally don't know if I'm overreacting or if I'm absolutely 100% right in my disgust for these people and in my fear that these people who just overturned Roe v. Wade and took away the rights of women. I mean, that's what makes me think, you know what? I'm right. I'm right to be this upset. I'm right to be this angry. Okay. And I'm not going to fucking apologize for it. But if someone shows me how that's a good thing, or that Trump actually is a good guy and the entire world's against him and I'm crazy, I will admit it. I will fucking admit it. I will say I am wrong. I admit my mistakes. I always do. And that's what people should do. So that's that. So I now have one less friend, and apparently this is happening all over. Family people aren't talking to each other. This is a fucking disaster in the United States. It is. I hope I'm wrong, but I see it as nothing but a complete fucking disaster. Okay, that's that. Let's lighten things up. And there's no way I'm in a mood to lighten things up. I've been drinking. I'm very upset and agitated, obviously. John, are you there?
Hi, Spenny. How are you?
I'm mad at you, first of all.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Okay, well, no. First of all, the pink thing. We'll get into that, okay? And what did you do? You went without asking me, and you fucking approached her agent, and apparently she doesn't have an agent, to get her on this show. That is not something I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
And then you did it again today with Sarah Silverman. You have to fucking tell me when you're doing that kind of stuff. Because I don't, because what it does is it makes it look like I'm looking for publicity and attention.
Absolutely not.
Well, you know that.
I know that, and let's explain first of all. Hello, viewers. Here's a quick little recap. As you know, earlier this week, Spencer who has always been on the side of everyone who was against this entire thing with Roe v. Wade. Pink said something very powerful on her Twitter, and here is
I'm
what
going to explain this for the people who don't know. Whatever.
We got to go through it because there are a handful of people that
Sure.
Okay, so let's be clear. If you believe the government belongs in a woman's youth, well, you can all read. So basically,
now read it.
Pink said, if you like that, then don't like me anymore. Go away. I hate you. Go away. That's it.
Okay.
So basically,
let me take over. Okay,
go for it.
So I had been spending the majority of that day since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which I think caught everybody by surprise. And by the way, I'm almost more mad at the fucking Democrats that let this happen than I am at the Republican fucking. Well, maybe not. I hate those fucking people. But anyways, I had tweeted maybe 20 times and Facebook and maybe not Instagram because they're so dumb over there. The Instagram people are
You've been very vocal
about how disgusted I was with the decision, with no humor whatsoever, because it's not funny. So then later in the day, I got so I was just looking on my timeline or whatever they call it on Twitter, and I see the tweet he just showed, which, by the way, I think is fucking awesome.
Yes.
I fucking loved it. I don't really know Pink that much. I've always thought she was hot and attractive and obviously an amazing personality, but I loved what she was saying in the tweet. But what most of you don't understand was that I grew up with Henny Youngman, the Marx Brothers, Rodney Dangerfield, Kenny Hotz. These are quick-witted one-liner people. And Groucho especially. A lot of the humor is kind of Jewy, and I'm Jewish, and it's about money and kind of being cheap. So I made the mistake, which I will say honestly was a mistake, and I have said it publicly. I retweeted and quoted a joke. Can you show the joke, John?
Absolutely. Not? In the context of, if people are going to stop listening to her music because of this, you were suggesting she was going to lose a lot of listeners. And you said,
I didn't even have to suggest it.
Right, exactly. And so you said, quite simply, and there's two tweets in here, so read the bottom first.
I hope her agent survives the stroke. We can argue from here to eternity if that's a funny joke or not. I know it's a funny joke. The problem is it would be funny in the Borscht Belt in the 1950s. I get it. Okay. I'm old and I like that kind of humor. If I still have to explain it, because I had to fucking explain this joke, was that Hollywood agents are into money. That's what they're into. So if she loses a lot of fans, then presumably she would lose money. Therefore, her agent would have a stroke. That's all it is. It's a fucking stupid joke. It was probably inappropriate for me to do that when everybody was so angry and rightfully angry about the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I own it. I take responsibility for it. But I will say that I had done many, many tweets that had no humor in it that day. So by the time I came around to making that joke, I had already, cleansed myself.
You were hoping to add a moment of levity to what was a horrible, horrible day for all.
No, I wasn't. I didn't think it through. I wasn't adding a load. I was just doing what I do. That's what I would do normally if Roe v. Wade wasn't overturned. I do it all the time. Sure. I take Uber facts, and the other one the other day, they say that the human face grows hair the fastest. And I quoted, tell that to my ball sack. That's what I do. Okay. The timing was terrible. So then she put it back up on. So then she came back with something which didn't strike me as being mean or anything, but just, I am my agent. We're fine. Fine. Great, kind of cool. Pink, 30 million followers, is tweeting, commenting on a tweet I made. I thought that was
Female empowering statements.
yes. And then all of a sudden, the avalanche of fucking, I don't know if I'd call it hate, but it might have been. You'd have to judge. But that not only did they not get the joke, that's one thing. They immediately assumed that I was anti-abortion. I was called a misogynist. I was called a religious extremist. And I was trying to fucking, everybody get, no, you don't have the typing. No, you don't understand. I'm on your side. But it was an overwhelming wave of hate that, which is I'm used to with Kenny versus Spenny, but that's fine. But these are people who I actually care about and agree with them. So now I'm getting pummeled by people I agree with, and there's nothing I can do. There's nothing. I could have had 30 techno geeks around me, and they couldn't have, I think, kept up with the hate. Now, look, my social media, what do I got? 26,000, something like that on Twitter. It gets nothing huge, but for me, it's all I have. So that's all I know. So yes, I'm sure other celebrities with much bigger followings have stepped in shit and gotten, but I never happened anything like this before. Kenny versus Benny is one thing. This was something else. So I got so upset and defeated that I said, I got to go play my music. And I went down in my studio and I played some music. And about an hour later, I came back upstairs and I turned on my phone, and literally the first thing I saw was this. Go. What's this?
This is you. Oh, this was you talking about, I don't know that you even saw this one.
I don't think I've seen this one.
You said you made a joke about one of your tweets. Oh, read
I've never seen this.
Yeah, check this out.
That was the first one? That's not the first one, was it?
Right. This was the first one that, if you take a look, you were just explaining what you just explained to us, and she responded to that and immediately said, leave this person alone.
That's me. I'm this person. Now, go to the other one. Go to the other one. I've never seen this one. Okay. Spenny did not make anything cruel by his joke. Correct. We all need to do our research and who we're aligned with and what team we're playing for. Correct. Spenny, we're on the same team. Correct. We are aligned. Correct. And you and I are all good. Fantastic. Let's keep our attention on change and unity and face in the face of evil. Correct. So let me just do this. Take it off. I basically started crying when I saw that. That's how defeated I was. And I will, till my last breath, remember that she did that for me, because there was no reason to do it. She clearly, with 30 million fans, I thought I was lost in the ether, and that was, I was just going to have to deal with this nightmare. The fact that Pink did that, it's so wonderful. It's so cool, and it's so right. She's right in what she said, and it was what I was trying to say. And I will forever be in debt to her for doing that for me. Okay, nice. I didn't see those. What's that mean?
No, so that was a wonderful happy ending to a story. Now,
no, it's not a happy ending. God, the narration is fucked.
I'm trying to get to the next
I'm still getting. I'm still. It helped a lot. It helped a lot, John. It helped a lot, but I'm still getting the same shit. People retweeting what people have said, saying I'm a misogynist or this and that. Sure. So what do we take away from this? Little story that I went through. It felt like a big story to me, but it probably is a little story in the grand scheme of things. Mm-hmm. What I've learned is social media is fucked. Yeah. And it's fucked because first of all, I made a mistake, maybe in making a joke at that point in time, probably a bad idea. But when the mob comes for justice or comes to hate on you, or what do they call it, troll you, mm-hmm. It's a hysteria. It's a hysteria that is not tethered to any reality at that point, and that can't be a good thing. It just I don't know. I'll talk about trolls for 2 seconds. I mean, my understanding is, John, correct me if I'm wrong, trolls are people who sit at home, and they try to make people angry.
They go out of their way to figure out what your trigger is, and then they continually hit that trigger until you react or block.
I've got so many triggers that it's not funny. So I'm the perfect person to be trolled. So I get that. But I have to ask myself, what kind of person does that? Mm-hmm. What kind of person thinks that's fun? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. It seems to me that it's pathetic. It's a misuse of an incredible technology, and it helps divide people, which we can talk about that for a second, because that's the conundrum I'm stuck in. I suppose I'm a divider because I speak so strongly and so with such deference for the people I don't like. So therefore, I'm a divider. But I don't. Someone will have to explain to me, other than walking away completely and not giving a shit, which isn't an option for me. Sure. How a person is supposed to deal with people that are, in my opinion, evil. And that's what Pink said, by the way. And I think they are evil because, by the way, if you are anti-abortion, don't get an abortion. Adopt some kids. But don't force your views on other people. And that's what's happening in the States. They're calling it Christo-fascism. I don't want to be an alarmist, but if that's what that is, it's horrible, man. It is horrible. It goes against so many fundamental rights and what the movement of what's it called, civil rights movement. Like it's appalling. It's a small light version of The Handmaid's Tale. And I can't even believe that Roe v. Wade was overturned. I'm still kind of in shock about it. Okay, so now let me just go to another thing to do with social media and how we communicate on social media. Literally about an hour before I started doing this show, I read a tweet by someone who I adore named Sarah Silverman. She's a comedian. There it is. I'm dumb, but why haven't the Dems codified Roe and marriage equality and all the stuff they knew would be immediately dismantled by the fundies, fundamentalists? Should they have control? Nail it down. Now, here's another time where I'm going to be honest. I didn't read her whole tweet. I'm so insane and I'm such an emotional person that I immediately responded to her and I wrote, Sarah, you should be furious. I hated what Bill Maher said about my prime minister, which I did, but he's right about the Democrats. These right-wing lunatics are ruthless and completely untethered to the facts. It's awful. I might be hysterical, but it will take generations to undo Roe v. Wade. What I think happens was she took exception to this, after Sarah, where I go, you should be furious, implying that I didn't think she was furious, which I get. Okay. So she wrote back, and I thought this was kind of shitty, frankly. Thanks for letting me know how I should feel, Spenny. What the actual fuck makes you think I'm not furious? Right? Okay. I'm a little annoyed that she would ignore everything else I said and focus on that one sentence, but she's entitled, obviously. So then do we have the rest of what? I don't even remember. So then I go, thanks. Oh, yeah, because as soon as she said that, I started getting pummeled again by people's, not as bad as the Pink thing. And I said, now I'm going to get pummeled on social media. Jesus fuck. And then she writes, I'm not going to feel bad about something you tweeted. I'm sorry, Sarah Silverman. Fuck you. But also, it's no big deal, bro. Learn a little lesson from it. I fuck up every goddamn day. I love that. Go outside and bounce a ball. That is patronizing. Fuck off. And it will pass in 2 seconds. It won't pass in 2 seconds. It'll pass, but not in 2 seconds. So now I'm pissed off at Sarah Silverman, who I fucking love. Because if you go back to that. Go back to that, John.
Okay, going back to it now.
Okay. Here, it's no big deal, bro. Learn the lesson from it. So now it seems to be implying, and I might be wrong here, that this isn't my business because I'm not a female. Maybe I'm wrong, but then go to the next one.
Well, that's the last one we got.
No, there's another one.
Well,
And she ends it with, "Oh, men.
Oh, right.
Fuck you. Oh, men. Is that what you want? Women against men? Fuck." And then I blocked her. I blocked Sarah Silverman. Why am I still ranting about this? Who the fuck? Get rid of her. You know, I don't know, man. Clearly, I'm unhinged. I get it. I get it. I think we're all unhinged, especially women, and they should be. But I'm saying that if you're going to pick apart, I tweet so fast that I have a million typos almost in every tweet. I don't really overthink them, and I don't really check them before it goes out. Perhaps I should. I'll own it. But the fact that she said, "Oh man," now maybe it's a joke. Sometimes humor is hard to appreciate or understand when it's in a text or a text. Anyways,
Here's my take on it. The women right now are under attack, literally, and unfortunately, the truth of it is, anytime a man says anything to a woman right now, they're going to assume it's not pro women. And I
wow, that's
understand.
good. So I'll stop you right there. That is fucked. If
Right,
that's true,
absolutely.
I don't know if that's true, but that's fucked. Go ahead.
The problem is, it's about, I feel like anytime any man, including yourself, says something to a woman right now, it will be classified as mansplaining, even if it's positive, even if it's pro. Like,
I could see why she thought I was mansplaining. I can. However, I don't think I was aggressive in my reply saying I'm a lunatic.
not at all.
I don't know how she interpreted that. She didn't back off. She didn't apologize. I don't care if she does or doesn't. She seemed to be pissed off at me. Fine, whatever. I could tell you a story. Anyways, not about her, but about Jimmy Kimmel. I don't even know if they talk or if this even entered Jimmy Kimmel's. Kenny and I did Kimmel's show years ago, and it was fantastic. At the time, I believe she was dating or recently broke up with Jimmy Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
And that his show, and I fucking love him too. His show is in this great old theater on Hollywood Boulevard, I think. Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard. And after the show, all the guests with Kenny and I, we went up to her office. Kenny's sister was with us, and Sarah was there. And I remember being thrilled to meet her. And she took a picture with Kenny's whatever. So this is why I'm an idiot, and I'm going to be very honest with you. So I'm walking around Jimmy's office, and there's photographs everywhere of celebrities that either have been on the show or they're his favorites, 8x10s or whatever. And for some fucking idiotic reason, I saw one of Huey Lewis. And I walked up to Jimmy, who was sitting behind his desk, and I said, "Huey Lewis, you like that guy?" And he looked at me because I don't like Huey Lewis's music. I'm sorry, but I got something nice to say after. He looked at me and he goes, "He's my best friend." So I put my foot in my mouth for absolutely no reason. I think I was just nervous being in that situation of all these famous people and everything. Anyways, I never knew if he just, that was a joke and to make me feel bad. Anyways, the end of the story is that a month later, I'm watching this show called Where Are They Now, which tracks celebrities sort of after they're out of the limelight. And one of the stories was on Huey Lewis. And I think he lives in Michigan. He was a fly fisherman. He had a great sense of humor. He was fucking, seemed like an awesome dude, which made me feel even worse that I had said that to possibly his best friend. I don't know. Now, why am I telling you this story? I don't fucking know. I've gone crazy. I don't know why I'm saying, because I think I'm thinking maybe Sarah Silverman heard about that and thought I was an idiot. I also dated a girl who was somehow involved into the Sarah Silverman show, and that relationship was a disaster, and maybe she shit talked me. I don't think she cares about me. I would be thrilled if she cared about me, but I don't think she does. I think she's a nice person. She's got these voicemail things you can leave if you follow her on Twitter. And I always, not always, but maybe 3 or 4 times I've left messages for her, usually political in nature. Anyways, whatever. So, I blocked her. I'll eventually I'll unblock her because I just love her humor. And I if she never talks to me again, whatever. The fact that she once did was pretty cool. So
quick
Oh,
question.
I'll tell you one other thing, which was the first time I met Sarah Silverman was at a Comedy Central party, and I had just watched the Mr. Rogers video of him asking for money, more money for public
Broadcasting.
yeah, in front of the Senate, and it's the most incredible thing. You guys should look it up.
Absolutely.
Mr. Rogers was amazing, and I told her what I saw, and she seemed interested and seemed to be very nice about it. So I'm not concerned about any of this. I'm just saying that social media is a fucking beast, and I don't know if the bad outweighs the good or the good outweighs the bad at this point. For me, it's definitely this week has been a disaster by any stretch of the imagination. Why don't we bring Bobby on so I can?
Okay, but quick question. Would it make you feel better or worse to find out that Huey Lewis is suffering from a horrible hearing loss that makes it impossible for him to tour or record?
Well, I feel terrible. Like I said, I don't like his music. I'm sorry. It's a subjective thing. Clearly, millions of people love his music, way more than love my music. So it doesn't matter. The fact is, why did I say that to Jimmy Kimmel? I have no idea. I was probably wasted and drunk and fucking nervous, and I was trying to be cool, and it didn't work. So I have a history. I guess my point is I have a history of putting my fucking foot in my mouth. The difference is I own it and I admit it when I realize it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see Uncle Bobby, but first we are going to get some business out of the way. We have a couple of comments that tossed a little money at you, so please address them kindly and nicely as you do all things on social media, starting with this one right here.
Can you tweet Stuttering John and go on the show? No, I no, because first of all, I like Stuttering John. I love Stern. And Kenny and I tried to get on Stern, and for whatever reason, they had no interest in it. So I don't really feel I'm stubborn. I'm a kind of stubborn idiot. And,
you spoke to Shuli the other day, and that was
Shuli asked me to go on a show, and that was really cool. I'm not saying I don't think Stuttering John. I just don't. You know me, John. I'm yelling at you for asking people.
I know. So you don't want me to reach out to Stuttering John? I think it would be a very heated, very wonderful conversation between the two of you.
Sure, you can do that, but you asked me. The other two, you didn't ask me. You just went and did it, and I was horrified, frankly.
Well, I'm just a big fan of Sarah Silverman. I just think she's great.
I know, but it makes me look like I'm a fucking desperate for attention.
Well, she doesn't know who I am. I'm just a dude, you know. She doesn't know.
Okay, who cares about what's going on in the States? I do. Let's worry about what's going on in Canada. I am. Canada is a complete mess right now. It is not, in my opinion, a complete mess. I am worried that it will become a complete mess. Colton, I don't know what your fucking politics are. I may agree or disagree with you. I'm very concerned, and I tried to get my buddy John Leitke on that Canada might, in a light way, be the Conservative Party of Canada going in a sort of Trumpy direction. And I will do everything in my power to stop it. And I have absolutely no power, but I'll try. Yes, great. Yes, we will be in Nanaimo, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. And by the way, if you're in Saskatchewan, we're coming out there. There's still tickets left. Fucking buy them. They're good. The shows are great. So that's that. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Go and see these guys whenever you have the chance.
You got to take that. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's British Columbia tour. That's in October. That's got Nanaimo on October 13th. You can read the rest right there. Get your tickets now. If you don't know how, go to Kenny versus Spenny on Facebook. All the info is there. And I promise you, it'll be the greatest show that you've ever seen that day. Easily.
I think that's a funny part of the story. And John's a part of this too. By the way, okay. Well, Pink, first of all, tweeted that she's her own agent, but yet it seems like she does have an agent. So I don't know what that means. But anyways,
she has an agent. Doesn't matter.
Okay. It's kind of weird that she would do that. But anyways, I'm an honest person. So I'm not saying she's dishonest, but that's whatever. Maybe she was joking.
She's saying, you don't tell me what to do. I am my own person.
Yeah, that's the other thing, man. Yeah. Holy fuck. Maybe it's just because of the Roe v. Wade thing. One of the one person, like, it got so crazy that my little joke about her agent would have a stroke because she's losing all these fans because she doesn't want them. She's not losing them. She's kicking them out on their ass. Good for her. was that they said to me, "Oh, of course, you're a man who thinks a woman can't handle her own things," as if an agent isn't a bi-gender thing that most entertainers have. And then and this is rare for me, I think I gave her the knockout punch when I said, and how do you know her agent's not a woman?
boom.
Pretty good, eh?
Take that, all women ever.
Yeah. So, I can't, I mean, this is, if women start hating men, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, don't hate all men. There's still a couple of nice ones left, and I think Spenny is 6 of them.
Well, we've never played LA. We would like to play LA. We're talking about doing a West Coast run of the United States. Yes. Oh, and I want to talk about very quickly while I remember. So yes, but we don't have a date yet. I want to talk about Colorado. I did it again this morning. I woke up and I read that Lauren Boebert, who, if you don't know who she is, wow, she is like a Christo-fascist, maybe. I don't even know what that term, if that's a real thing, but she basically said that she doesn't believe in the separation of church and state. Anyway, she won an election in Colorado, and like I always do, without thinking, I just wrote "fuck Colorado." Very bad, stupid of me. I apologize and took the tweet down. Apparently, Colorado, outside of the district she represents, is a very cool, amazing place where weed is legalized and blah, 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 blah. So I fucked up again, but I owned it. I took down the tweet. Okay. I was just mad because I can't stand Lauren Boebert. Her and Marjorie Taylor Greene, both of them are just atrocious people to me.
Before we give you all what you're waiting for, which is, and I'm going to say it right now, a topless Uncle Bobby, one final note so that Spenny, all of this is there's a reason you do it, and here it is right here. This is from Brittany.
I know this chat doesn't want to hear it, but I've actually been really upset by overturning Roe v. Wade. It's nice to see men sticking up for my rights. Thank you, Brittany. It's beyond that. It is fundamental right. It is a fundamental right that women had. And why don't they have it anymore? Donald Trump's part of it. The Democrats being bullied basically and beaten by Mitch McConnell and the Republicans. Is Brittany an American? I guess she is.
Brittany, are you an American? Let's find out. She will let us know in a moment. But
it doesn't matter, because I'm of the Noam Chomskyan belief that we really are fundamentally all human. And, we have all kinds of ways to divide ourselves. It's getting very toxic now. We divide ourselves into races, into sexes, into all these things. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings, sentient beings or whatever. And we got to try to find our commonalities, man.
Yes.
And, like I said, I and people beat me up for this, but I believe that being anti-abortion is a reasonable position. You just don't have the right to push it on someone else.
Absolutely.
That's it.
I was lucky enough. I got in touch with the U.S. Surgeon General, and we did discuss this, and he feels the same way that you do. And I was lucky enough to actually get him. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Surgeon General of the United States of America, here he is.
Hey.
I think we need you, Bobby, now more than ever.
I got hemorrhoids. They came back again.
And here we go.
Everything was fine. My bowel movements were great. They were. I looked at the pictures, and they looked like the good pictures, not the bad ones.
What did the bad ones look like? Just for
like little mini balls.
Okay.
Black.
Ew.
Bloody.
Okay.
Red, like bright red. Good ones are long, kind of like Tootsie Rolls almost.
Okay.
Can I block myself from this show? Is that possible?
Yeah.
But let's change the subject for a second. I'm selling. Hang on.
Wait, he wants the screen. There it is.
I'm selling pictures. Look how beautiful they are.
Look at those are original Bobby paintings. Tell us how.
I got a easel and a
No, tell us how to buy
Matt?
them.
How to buy them, Bobby? How to buy them?
Oh, how to buy them? They're on my link. And my link will be shown by Jonathan because he called me at the last minute and promised to
What
do it.
works for me? Well, here's his TikTok. So there's that.
Yeah, tell him to
And-
contact you through TikTok.
TikTok works.
TikTok works, and if go on Facebook and look up fans of
Uncle Bobby.
fans
Pat.
of Uncle
Yeah.
Bobby. On-
Okay, Bobby.
Also,
Go ahead.
I have other shit that's going on. You guys want to hear about it now?
Not really, but go ahead.
All right. So you remember when I had that yeast infection that I had to get a circumcision for, right?
Yes.
Hey, everything's good, except now my belly button, which had been an issue before, this is inside. It's infected again, I think, because I put the cream in at night, and in the morning it's supposed to be all dried out and everything is good. It's not working right now, man. And sometimes if I twist left or right or up or down, I get a stinging feeling inside my belly button. So we're gonna have to go see the doc about that. But the yeast infection on my inner thigh is gone. Thank goodness for that. And life's good. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for the area around central Saskatchewan. So if you're in the area, one or two people that might be watching here, just take a look outside and be careful, people.
This is the greatest live stream on earth. Can I just say that?
Bobby,
Yeah.
you got to get people to come to our shows. We need to sell some tickets out there.
Bobby, where will you be? You're going to be with the guys. What show? Let the people know.
West Coast is doing great, but we're doing well. I want to sell out, because if we don't sell out, then Kenny won't do it, and then I'm fucked.
I'll be at Outlaws in Saskatoon,
Yeah.
All right.
August 20th, I believe.
That's in August. Okay, this is the October tour. So August, you'll be in Saskatoon with the guys?
Yeah.
Will you be selling your paintings outside in the parking lot?
If it's allowed.
Why the hell not?
What Bobby likes to do is he likes to come to our hotel in the morning and get the free breakfast. Am I lying?
No, but due to my type 2 diabetes, which I was diagnosed with 6 months ago, can't do that stuff anymore, man. I actually have to watch what I eat now.
Oh, good Lord.
Is he doing it, Charla? Is he watching what he eats?
Sometimes it's pretty sporadic.
Yeah. Classic Bobby. I'm pre-diabetic type 2, so
Yeah.
But my discipline is off the charts. It might even be
Yeah. I know what you people are saying. How can he be eating this ice cream? It's not ice cream. It's something called frozen yogurt.
It's
And-
loaded with sugar, you idiot. Oh my God, he's such an idiot. Bobby, I need some comments on what I was ranting about. Number one, have you watched the January 6th hearings?
Yeah, I mean, this was
Watch the last one.
no, I didn't watch the last one. I've seen a little bit. Look, it was one of the darkest days in American history. The fact that it was condoned by the President of the United States, that it wasn't met with brutal force. This is a sacred building. It's a sacred building. This is not something that you can just walk into. Can you imagine if somebody walked in, hey, I've decided I'm going to walk into your house and start eating your food. Not a damn thing you can do about it, and I'm going to bring my friends with me. Nobody would think that, right? And if somebody tried to come into the House of Commons here in Ottawa, can you imagine that? So, look, for that part, the people that are responsible for it hopefully will be punished, and let's not let that happen again.
Well, by the people, you mean Donald Trump?
First of all, a president will never be punished, okay? Because they won't allow that to happen. It makes him look bad. Nixon should have gone to prison for what he did, but he never would have gone because they wouldn't allow it to happen.
Should he run again? Should he be allowed to run again? And by the way, if they charge him with something, he may get pardoned by, I mean, you remember Nixon, a lot of his cronies went to prison, including John
Right.
Mitchell, G. Gordon Liddy, the burglars. But the question becomes, if he somehow manages in his 80s to become the Republican Party candidate in 2024, I am on the record as saying the United States has collapsed, at least the United States I know and love.
Well, I do know this. The only people that want him to run right now are the Democrats, because they know they'll win the election if he does. Look, I think he does have some common sense. And I really think that he's going to be convinced by the powers that be that, look, you know what? Let's move on.
I've been told, I spoke to someone today who's very involved. He lives in Washington. I can't say who it is. They said that they're much more, and he's a Democrat, much more afraid of DeSantis because DeSantis is very smart. Anyways, here's something that I really want to hear your opinion on, Bob. You're going to finish making love to your frozen yogurt? Okay. How much of do we need to worry here in Canada about the MAGA style politics?
Well, I live out west, as most of you know, and there's a lot of bitter and resentment towards Eastern Canada. Not the people per se, but the politics and the government. They just get this vibe that they don't care. And you're old enough to remember what it was like when Stanfield and Trudeau were running, and how the Liberals did very poorly in Western Canada, but managed to get a minority government based on their Ontario and Quebec. Right, and the same thing happened again, did it not? They just get the vibe that nobody cares about them, that they're just afterthoughts. So what's happening is you're getting a lot of right-wing people, especially in Alberta, who are just fed up with the way things are. Now, if for any chance the Conservative Party gets any momentum in Ontario or Quebec, and they can form a government at the next election, we're going to have a lot of right-wing conservatives in the House of Commons. And friends, we do need to be worried about that. Look, I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I look at the individual who's running in my riding. All right. And for that reason and that reason alone, I make my decision based on that. Because really, when you look at it, there isn't all that much of a difference when you think about it.
You don't vote federally? You actually don't vote, or
no, I do, but I vote based on who's running in my riding.
So whatever party is you want, basically.
Whatever party or the individual that's running.
Well, all politics is local. That's what they say.
Well, it is, yeah.
So, okay. So answer my question in terms of a percentage. If you're like me and a hysterical person that's worried about what I see going on in the United States, metastasizing to Canada, how much should I be worried? 50%, 20%, 5%?
How much longer is Trudeau in power for?
Well, he's got to call an election. I think he can stay for a few more years, right?
Right. Okay. So let's say 3 more years then. We don't have much to worry about yet. As it gets closer to that date, we need to start worrying, especially if the Conservatives are ready to form a government. Now, you have your right-wing hardcore Conservatives, and then you have your middle-of-the-road Stephen Harper type Conservatives, right? And by the way, if Stephen Harper ever ran, he'd win the election. Let me make that perfectly clear, because he's got enough momentum in the West to basically get every riding there is. Plus, he would steal some seats in Ontario and Quebec. Because you know what? When we look back at all the crap, he didn't do such a bad job after all, right? Nobody likes the prime minister. Nobody's ever liked it seems like in my lifetime, nobody's ever liked a prime minister. The only one, and I was 4 years old, was when Justin's daddy won the election, and everyone liked him because he was handsome, and he was the first new politician, the first young politician. He was only
a true intellectual,
and he was in his 40s. He was in his late 40s when he won the election. Not an old John Diefenbaker, not a Stephen Harper type. He was young and charismatic and this and that. So to answer your question, we don't need to worry that much right now, but got to keep our eye. And for those that don't think
And by
that
the way, let me just ask you this, because it's such an amorphous conversation unless we get specific. What scares me isn't conservative policies per se, although if it has to do with taking away a woman's right to choose, that big time concerns me. It's the winning at all costs, the facts be damned, propaganda machine. That's what worries me. I'm a democratic in the sense that I'm not always going to get my way. I don't want to hate the other side unless the other side is completely morally bankrupt. Politics isn't perfect. I get it. But it is, we have it. This is our system. We have to deal with it. So I'm curious, when you say we have to worry, what is it specifically that you think have to worry? By the way, I should have said goodnight to our American audience who probably left as soon as we
Let
started.
me say this to you, Danny. Those that don't think that what happens in the U.S. affects us need to get their head examined.
It's unbelievable. Right? It happens to me all the time. It's unbelievable. Spenny, why do you care about American politics? I mean, I can see why they could say, why do you care so much? I get that, but you're exactly right.
Millions and millions and millions of jobs, billions of dollars in trade every single hour. This is not something that just stands around and is just those guys to the south of us. You know how many trucks cross Windsor, Detroit every single day? It's mind-boggling.
No,
and that's just
a
one
huge relationship with that country, and it absolutely they affect the entire world. Never mind just Canada. By the way, put back that other question because it's a good point. The problem is the Retrumplicans is what they're called, and the Republicans that I grew up with are very different than what I'm seeing now. So when you have a Republican Party that essentially, where there's 2 or 3 Republicans, Cheney and Kinzinger, they're on the hearing. There's been a few and ones that have retired. I think the Republicans are the Trump party. So don't tell me I don't understand it, Donkey Donk 127, because you don't know me, and I know the difference between a classic Republican and a Retrumplican. But it looks like that whole party is pretty much Trumplican. So anyway,
Spenny, I don't mean to jump in here. I don't want to ruin the flow. This is a very fulfilling and understanding this political speech.
Very special Lovestream.
I'm learning a lot. I do want to say that there is a Kenny fan who did want to put in his 2 cents. So please give him the respect to listen to what he has to say, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, Kenny might get mad at me for saying this, but I know where Kenny is politically. And if you think for one fucking second he's a Trumper, think again. But anyways, okay. So, but you didn't really answer my question, which is, what is it? What would be bad in a
10% worry now, 30% next year?
That's not the question. The question is, what elements of if we agree that, you know, if you're liberal and conservative or Republican or Democrat, you're not going to get everything you want. What are the issues in the Republican side or the conservative side that are deal breakers for you? I said what mine are. No tethering to the truth, completely propagandized, and morally bankrupt. You might agree with that, or what are you afraid of? What is it that you think we have to worry about?
We need to worry about what is happening in the United States right now, because it could and will affect us.
But what specifically, Bobby? What?
Well, the ability. What? Okay, you want to know what it is? I'll tell you what it is right now. All right. A woman's right to choose. Number one. Number two.
That's if that's their platform, they have every right to overturn it, as disgusting as it is. That to me is unfortunately fair game. It's sad to say, but do you not think they're dishonest people?
The conservatives or
no, the Trump people. They're dishonest. They're not. They have a guy that they love and worship who is I think he's a criminal. You know, he's got to be convicted of a crime to be.
How many people do you think of the 40 million Americans or whatever it was that voted Republican? How many of those voted because they've always voted Republican, because their parents voted Republican, because their buddies have voted Republican, because everyone in their district has voted Republican? And it wasn't that Donald Trump was running for president. It's because they're a Republican. I would say 90%.
I think that's a valid point. But
yeah,
at some point, you have to look at the leader and say, is this the guy I want to represent me? And I'm finding that they want him, despite the sexual assault allegations, despite the grabbing the pussy, despite the stealing from his charity, despite the January 6th. It's freaky. It's really fucking freaky.
Do you think President Biden's done anything wrong?
Oh, I'm sure he has. But everything's a spectrum, my friend. That's they're both the same. I get a lot of that on my social media. Both parties, it's the total cynicism. They're all corrupt. I don't buy that. Yes, they maybe all be corrupt, but there's still a spectrum of decency, a spectrum of honor, a spectrum of, I mean, let's be honest. Donald Trump, in my opinion, will do anything that's good for him. He has absolutely no moral compass. He just wants to win. That is not something that I think is a good idea to choose as a leader of a powerful country. Okay. All right, John, what do we do now? I'm pretty much.
Did you want to address this statement from?
Also had a lot to do with not voting for the real criminal Hillary. You know, she might be. I have no idea. Maybe let's say they're all criminals, but there's a spectrum of criminality, and then there's the policies. I happen to probably agree with Hillary's policies. Here's something, Bobby. A lot of the Trumpers don't want any money. Oh,
hold on, we're gonna push some merch. Hold on.
Can you hear me? They don't want any money going to Ukraine. I think it's wrong, but I think it's a valid point. I do. I just don't agree with it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about policies. I'm talking about character. And yes, I'm sure Biden did that. Do you remember where he took Neil Kinnock's speech in England and he plagiarized it, you know, and now they claim he came into a shower with his daughter. One sec, leave this guy up. I blocked him and I blocked him, and then he somehow got my email address, John. Anyways,
I didn't get. He emailed me asking to people pay you to.
I actually like this guy. I like this guy. I'm emotional, so if I'm in a bad mood, I just start blocking like a maniac. But anyways, so what was I talking about? Fuck.
So shower with the daughter.
Yeah, I shower with my daughter. I take baths with my kids. You know, apparently I don't see. There's the problem. So I don't know what truth is anymore. I don't know. Well,
there is a time when you stop taking showers with your
yes,
daughter.
Yes. My kid.
When is that? I should really know.
But I don't know how old this woman was when she. I don't even know if it happened, and if it happened, was she 16 or was she 10? I have no idea. The point is that we know for sure that the Trumplicans will do and say anything to win. And they'll slander, they'll libel, they'll lie, they'll obfuscate, they'll differentiate. It's horrible. I please tell me why I'm wrong. Someone, please tell me why I'm wrong, because I don't think I'm fucking wrong. I'm drunk, but I'm not wrong. Okay, what did Spenny just say? Yes, I do. 2 days ago, I showered with my daughter.
And your daughter is, just so we all know, she's 19, right?
Okay, no, she's not. She's Scarlett's 7 years old. Yeah, I walk around naked. I'm not uptight. I don't have a fucking problem. I'm also not a molester or a sexual deviant. I'm a sexual deviant, but not with kids. So anyways, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just that they will say, my point is they will say and do anything. Hunter Biden sounds like a complete catastrophe. Okay, whatever. But he's not trying to deny an election he lost. Like, got drug. Even Biden said the guy's got drug problems. Do I think Biden's too old? Yes, I do, actually. But whatever. I think Biden honestly was the right guy at the right time, Bobby.
I did this with my nose.
See, when's the last time you did anything with your nose, Spencer?
I thought it was Coco the gorilla from the Toronto Zoo. But anyways,
Spenny, you have to one up him next when you go on tour again. I would think prostate exams with your nose.
I think we're done with the prostate exams. I haven't told.
Oh no, are you serious?
Yeah, I think that we've run its course. Brando says you got to come up with something different. I don't know how to top that.
Dude, that's like not doing Freebird.
2 words: chocolate sauce.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see Bobby on stage with you guys after everything you've all been through.
All right. We've been on for an hour. That's more than enough time.
I love you guys. I love you all.
Bobby, you are a delight. You always you lighten up the room on the darkest days. You make it all worthwhile.
I also darken up the room with my girth.
You darken and lighten whatever. Spencer, you're looking good. Spencer, before you go, we're gonna leave on a happy note. Look who's here. It's
Lishka.
He loves you dearly.
Lishka, I'm so your comic. I'm such a scumbag. It's not that it's just the requirement would be I have to call John, get your address, which I think you sent and I've lost
5 times.
Oh, $20. Oh, Lishka, stop it.
$20 Australian. That's
I love you. I love you. I'm not in an emotionally good place, and I wish that some Trumpers would come on and talk to me. I really do. They never do. I think they don't because they know that they're fundamentally fucking wrong. And if they were honest, they'd say, you know what? Trump gives me what I want. I don't really give a fuck that he, assaults women, tries to, that he's a authoritarian. I just want what I want. At least that's honest. At least that's what am I going to say to that? I'm going to say, okay, Good night, everybody. You too can be a solid citizen. I'm done.
Welcome, Benny.
I'd be very happy if you donate now.